Hello everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. Today we're going to be looking at a kind of cyberpunk portraiture type of piece by Douglas Murakami. I found this piece quite recently and it really fit our color palette, so I wanted to jump in and kind of just talk about it a bit. It really encapsulated me. It's a pretty old piece as well. You'll see I couldn't really find it on his Instagram. I had to do a bit of digging to find this piece, but here we are and let's jump right into it. So obviously in our initial introduction, we're met with kind of this side profile. It looks like the eyes are right here. Looks like the curve of the face is like that. It's hard to say though, because there's such a blur in this work, but notice the kind of painterly lines around here. You can see the brush strokes in the background. You can see the brush strokes there. Really painterly image, and I think that is indicative of the digital paint medium that it's within. So in our initial introduction, we're obviously met with this blue purple color palette, and that is really striking. This violet is kind of like a neon. It is incredibly luminescent, and it just strikes you with this kind of divine feeling. It glows and it captures your attention with absolute ease as well. And going back to that mention of the blur, that implies, of course, a sense of motion. It feels like we're right in the chaos, just kind of looking past, or maybe this kind of warrior is turning to his or her left to see us there. So that blur gives us that sense of motion, and it gives the piece a lot of visual energy as well. And as I said before, that paint is just what achieves such a fluorescent color. And the brush is just absolutely amazing there. And these kind of lighter streaks call your attention, and it falls off into these darker ones as well. There's still a dark on light contrast, and then an even lighter on dark contrast there as well. So we see kind of this lighter blur here. The darker part of our subject's helmet catches a dark on light, and then it goes back into a light on dark. So that's really interesting whenever we're looking at that. I would guess that is deliberate on the artist's part, or it kind of just happened that way. But either way, it really accents the silhouette. As you can see, it really accents the silhouette of the helmet there, and that really gives the piece a bit of life and gives the piece a lot more definition as a result. So the armor here is a really sharp, it meets you here with these little points. It jags, goes up, and it goes up, then it goes across. So those are really sharp. Of course, this backing is really sharp as well in the way that it intersects. This kind of gives this sense of kind of like the crown of the helmet, or maybe even like some type of tusk that it's absolutely incredible. It's very futuristic. It's very sleek. It's very modern, and it looks like that curves, and of course we can't see it, but it looks like that curves on the other side, but it's kind of hard to tell there. But this armor is just absolutely stunning. Look at that, right? So it's incredibly futuristic, as I said before. It might be some type of mech suit, so some type of cyborg. We might be looking at a cyborg. It's really hard to tell. We're only given this side profile and kind of this quick snapshot in the midst of the action, in the midst of motion as well. So like I said before, it's hard to tell exactly who this character is. Possibly an assassin, possibly a bounty hunter, maybe police, maybe military. It's really hard to tell, but it's safe to say it's futuristic, and it's safe to say that this character is lethal. And I think that gives the piece a lot of life, and it gives that piece a bit of mysticism as well. It leaves that up to interpretation by the viewer. So I think that's also important to note as well. So the cyberpunk genre is normally defined by kind of a authoritarian, massive cities, kind of smart cities that blends technology. So that really goes along with kind of the armor and this futuristic feel that we see here. That luminescence is essentially always a characteristic of cyberpunk art. Most cyberpunk pieces that I see are normally three-dimensional renderings, but you'll see that Murakami here straight up put it into digital paint and built every single brush from the ground up. So that's important to note as well. A ton of attention to detail. And even though there's that attention to detail, there's still that sense of motion as each layer and each color really just blends with the one next to it. So hope you guys like this piece. Douglas Murakami, I believe this is Murakami's third showcase. It might be Murakami's fourth. But incredible work from Murakami. Some great digital paintings on that artist page. Go check out some of more Murakami's pieces. And we just did one a few days ago as well. It was the Lotus study, the Lotus light study. So go back at that one. Even though that was a study, it was incredible, and you can just see the versatility that Murakami presents. Murakami can put you straight in the middle of nature, or he can drop you right here next to this kind of cyberpunk assassin. So incredible versatility displayed by this digital painter, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Check out some more of Murakami's pieces, and I'll see you on the next Apollo Art Analysis.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.